Financial invisibility, the art of building wealth, while everyone thinks you're struggling. Right now, someone you know is secretly wealthy. They drive a normal car, they wear normal clothes, they live in a normal house, and while everyone around them is drowning in debt, trying to look successful, this person is building an empire in silence. This is financial invisibility, and it's the most powerful wealth strategy you've never been taught. For the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you why looking rich keeps you poor, why looking poor makes you rich, and how to master the art of building massive wealth while the world thinks you're barely getting by. This isn't theory. This is the blueprint. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Performance Tax. Why looking rich is bankrupting you. The visibility trap costs you everything. Every time you upgrade your car, your clothes, or your lifestyle to match what people expect from success, you pay a performance tax that bleeds your wealth potential dry. Real wealth is built in the gap between what you earn and what you spend, and the moment you start performing success for an audience, that gap closes and your financial future disappears. Your neighbors are broke and so are their opinions. The people watching your life, judging your car, and measuring your worth by your house are drowning in payments they can't afford, which means their approval is worthless. When you optimize your life for the applause of people who are financially struggling, you adopt their strategies and inherit their outcomes. Every dollar you spend on perception is a dollar stolen from your future. That $800 car payment to impress co-workers, that's $96,000 over 10 years that could have compounded into $180,000. The performance tax doesn't just cost you money today. It costs you freedom, options, and decades of your life spent working because you couldn't say no to an audience that will forget you the moment you stop performing. Chapter 2. The Stealth Wealth Philosophy. How the actually rich stay hidden. Real millionaires look ordinary on purpose. Studies show that 70% of millionaires drive cars more than 3 years old, live in middle-class neighborhoods, and wear clothes from department stores. Not because they're cheap, but because they understand that wealth is what you keep, not what you show. Financial invisibility isn't about deprivation, it's about intelligent resource allocation, while everyone else is trapped in the performance economy. Invisibility is your competitive advantage in a world addicted to attention. When no one knows you have money, no one asks you for it, no one judges your decisions, and no one sabotages your focus with envy or expectation. The moment you broadcast wealth, you invite friction, obligation, and 1,000 invisible pressures that derail your ability to make rational financial decisions. The wealthy stay quiet because noise costs money. Every conversation about your success, every social media post about your wins, every visible upgrade to your lifestyle creates a psychological obligation to maintain that image, which means you'll spend to defend a perception instead of investing to build reality. Silence isn't secrecy, it's strategy, and it's the reason people who say less accumulate more. Chapter 3. The Millionaire Next Door Principle. Wealth hides in plain sight. Your assumptions about who is rich are keeping you poor. You think wealth looks like luxury cars and designer labels, so you spend your money trying to look like your mental image of success instead of behaving like people who actually have it. The millionaire next door drives a Honda, packs lunch, and looks unremarkable. And that's exactly why they're a millionaire, while the person in the Porsche is leasing their lifestyle on credit. Net worth is invisible. Income is theater. The doctor earning $400,000 a year with $600,000 in debt and a mortgage he can't afford is poorer than the plumber earning $80,000 a year with $500,000 invested and no payments. You've been conditioned to worship income and ignore net worth, which is why you chase salary increases while your actual financial position gets worse every year. The people judging you are broke, so why do you care? When you reverse engineer the financial lives of the people whose opinions you're trying to satisfy, you realize they have nothing. No savings, no investments, no plan, and no hope of financial independence. You're destroying your financial future to impress an audience that can't even fund their own retirement. And that's insanity dressed up as social success. Chapter 4. The Spending Firewall, Protecting Your Income from Social Pressure. Every social circle has a spending baseline, and it will bankrupt you if you let it. Your friends eat at expensive restaurants, take costly vacations, and buy things they can't afford. And the moment you enter that circle, there's an unspoken pressure to match their spending or risk being seen as cheap, struggling, or less than. Financial invisibility means building a firewall between your income and other people's expectations, so your money funds your goals, not their perception of normalcy. "I can't afford it" is the most powerful wealth-building sentence you'll ever say. When you normalize saying no to expenses that don't serve your financial plan, you break the social obligation to perform prosperity, and you give yourself permission to accumulate in silence. The discomfort of that sentence lasts 5 seconds. The wealth it protects lasts a lifetime. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your financial decisions. The moment you start justifying why you won't buy something, go somewhere, or spend on something, you invite negotiation, judgment, and pressure to change your mind. Financial invisibility means making decisions in private, executing them in silence, and refusing to debate your strategy with people who don't share your goals or understand your vision. Chapter 5. The Camouflage Strategy, Living Below Your Means Without Looking Poor. There's a difference between cheap and strategic. Financial invisibility doesn't mean depriving yourself or looking impoverished. It means spending intentionally on what matters to you while appearing average in the areas that don't. You can live in a modest house and take incredible vacations. You can drive an older car and invest in your health. The key is camouflaging your priorities so no one can see where your money actually goes. Quality over flash keeps you invisible and satisfied. Buy the reliable car that lasts 15 years, not the luxury car that impresses for 15 minutes. Invest in experiences that compound: health, relationships, skills, instead of things that depreciate. When you prioritize substance over signal, you build a life that's deeply fulfilling to you and completely unremarkable to everyone else, which is exactly where wealth grows fastest. No one is watching as closely as you think they are. You're terrified that people will judge you for not upgrading, but the truth is, most people are too obsessed with their own performance to notice yours, and the few who do notice, they're either jealous, broke, or both, which means their opinions are worthless. Financial invisibility frees you from an imaginary audience that doesn't care and wouldn't help you even if they did. Chapter 6. The Compound. Invisibility Effect. How quiet accumulation becomes unstoppable. Small, invisible decisions create exponential outcomes. Saving $500 a month while everyone else finances lifestyle upgrades doesn't sound impressive in year 1, but in year 10, you have $100,000 invested while they have payments. In year 20, you have $500,000 and financial independence while they're still trading time for money. Compound growth doesn't happen on stage, it happens in silence, and the longer you stay invisible, the more unstoppable you become. The gap between you and everyone else widens in secret. While your co-workers are celebrating raises with bigger houses and nicer cars, you're investing the difference and watching your net worth accelerate. They see stagnation, you see exponential growth. The beauty of financial invisibility is that by the time anyone realizes you've won, it's too late for them to catch up. Financial freedom is a quiet arrival, not a loud announcement. One day, you'll wake up and realize you don't need the job, the approval, or the performance anymore. and no one will have seen it coming because you built your empire in silence. The people who shouted about their success the whole way will still be working. You'll be free. That's the compound invisibility effect, and it's the ultimate wealth strategy. Chapter 7. The Social Media Wealth Trap. Why broadcasting success destroys it. Every post about your wins is a leak in your wealth container. When you broadcast your success on social media, you trigger a psychological need to maintain that image, which means you'll spend money to prove the post was real instead of investing money to make the success bigger. The applause you get from strangers online costs you compound growth, and that trade is never worth it. Attention is expensive, and you're paying for it with your future. The more visible your lifestyle, the more you'll spend defending it. And the more you spend defending it, the less you'll have to invest. Social media has turned wealth building into a performance sport where the winners look rich and the actual rich stay silent. You can have the audience or the money, but you can't have both. The people liking your posts aren't paying your bills. You're optimizing your financial decisions for the approval of people who will scroll past your life in 2 seconds and forget you exist. And in exchange, you're sacrificing decades of financial security. Financial invisibility means deleting the audience from your decision-making process and building wealth for yourself, not content for strangers who will never contribute to your success. Chapter 8. The Income. Invisibility advantage. Never let them know what you make. The moment people know your income, they recalibrate their expectations of you. If your family, friends, or co-workers discover you're earning significantly more, they'll expect you to spend more, contribute more, and live at a level that matches their new perception of your financial capacity. And if you don't, they'll judge you as greedy, selfish, or cheap. Income invisibility protects your ability to make rational decisions without social interference. Lifestyle inflation is contagious, and visibility is the infection vector. When people know you got a raise, bought a house, or landed a high-paying job, they unconsciously encourage you to upgrade your life to match their idea of what someone in your position should have. Financial invisibility means keeping income changes private so you can invest the difference instead of spending it to satisfy other people's narratives about your life. Your earning power is your business, not your biography. The less people know about your income, investments, and financial position, the more freedom you have to allocate resources according to your goals instead of their expectations. Silence about money isn't secrecy. It's boundary setting, and it's the most important boundary you'll ever establish if you want to build wealth without interference. Chapter 9. The 10-year invisibility timeline. What happens when you disappear financially? Years 1 to 3. You feel the friction of saying no while everyone else says yes. This is the hardest phase because you're watching peers upgrade their lives while you're driving the same car, living in the same place, and appearing to fall behind. The discomfort is real, but it's temporary, and every dollar you don't spend in this phase is a dollar working for you in the next. Years 4 to 7. The gap becomes undeniable, but you're still invisible. Your net worth is growing exponentially while everyone else is treading water in payments, but because you haven't changed your lifestyle, no one notices. This is where financial invisibility pays its first major dividend. You're building serious wealth while facing zero social pressure to spend it, which means the compound effect accelerates without interference. Years 8 to 10. You reach financial independence while everyone thinks you're struggling. One day, you'll have the option to walk away from your job, retire early, or work only on projects you love. And the people who judged you for not keeping up will still be trapped in the same financial cycle they were in 10 years ago. Financial invisibility doesn't just build wealth, it builds freedom, while everyone else is still chasing the appearance of success. Chapter 10. The final test. Staying invisible after you've already won. The hardest part of financial invisibility is maintaining it after you've accumulated serious wealth. Once you've reached financial independence, the temptation to celebrate, upgrade, and finally show the world what you've built is almost irresistible. But the moment you do, you invite complexity, expectation, and the erosion of the very invisibility that got you there. The final test is staying quiet even after you've won. True wealth is measured by what you can afford, but choose not to buy. The billionaire who still flies commercial, the millionaire who still cuts coupons, the financially independent person who still lives modestly, they understand that wealth isn't about spending capacity, it's about optionality, security, and freedom. Financial invisibility at the highest level means having everything and needing nothing. And that's a power most people will never understand. Your legacy is what you build, not what you show. In the end, financial invisibility isn't about hiding, it's about focusing. It's about ignoring the audience so you can build something real, protecting your resources from people who don't share your vision, and creating a life of substance instead of performance. The people who stay invisible the longest build the most, leave the biggest impact, and live with the most freedom. That's the art. That's the strategy. That's financial invisibility. Summary. So here's what you need to understand. Right now, you have a choice. You can keep performing success for an audience that's broke, spending money to look rich while staying poor, or you can disappear financially and start building real wealth in silence. Financial invisibility isn't a trick, it's a philosophy. It's the understanding that what people think about your money doesn't matter. What you do with your money is everything. It's the decision to stop broadcasting, stop performing, and start accumulating. Every dollar you don't spend to impress someone is a dollar working for your freedom. Every upgrade you skip is compound growth you protect. Every time you say no to the performance tax, you say yes to financial independence. The people around you will keep spending, keep upgrading, and keep wondering why they're still broke in 10 years. But you'll be free. You'll have options. You'll have wealth. And no one will have seen it coming because you built it in silence. So here's your challenge. Go invisible. Stop talking about money. Stop posting about success. Stop upgrading your life to match other people's expectations. Disappear financially for the next 10 years and let your net worth do the talking. The audience won't understand. The audience doesn't need to. Financial invisibility isn't for everyone. It's for the people who want to win. Now go build in silence. Let your results speak, and remember, the quieter you are, the richer you become.